Okay, so we're doing this deep dive today to talk about an article by Dr. Hari Thaplial on dasarpai.com.
Right?
It's all about online marketplaces.
Yeah.
And, we all use them constantly, right? For everything from groceries to gadgets.
Absolutely, yeah. There's just part of daily life now.
But I think what maybe gets missed sometimes is just how incredibly diverse these things are, like the sheer variety.
That's exactly it. You say marketplace, and people think maybe Amazon, eBay.
Yeah, the big ones.
The big ones, sure. So they're
Yeah.
massive, no doubt. But this article really digs into all the specialization that's happened.
So that's kind of the plan for this discussion then, to unpack these
Yeah.
categories.
Yeah, exactly. We want to explore the different types,
Yeah.
look at some examples from the article, and just give a better sense of the whole landscape. Might even uncover some useful resources or, business ideas.
Cool. Okay, let's jump in. The article starts with software and developer tools marketplaces.
Right.
And this isn't just buying regular software off the shelf. It's more about tools for building stuff, right? Extensions, plugins.
Precisely. Think platforms designed to enhance development environments. Places you go to get add-ons for your code editor or your IDE.
Like the VS Code marketplace. Or JetBrains.
Exactly. Those are prime examples. And what's interesting there is how specific they are. The JetBrains marketplace is for their IDEs, like IntelliJ or PyCharm.
Right, it's tailored.
Very tailored. It shows how specialized developer needs have become. It's not one size fits all anymore.
So if you're using PyCharm, you go to the JetBrains marketplace because those plugins are built for that specific environment.
Makes sense, doesn't it? And the article draws another distinction, too, comparing places like OpenVSX or the Eclipse marketplace with others like CodeCanyon or, again, the JetBrains marketplace. There's a different philosophy almost.
Okay, what's the main difference there?
Well, it often comes down to sort of open source versus commercial focus. OpenVSX and Eclipse, they lean heavily into free open source tools. It reflects their
This
communities.
is a whole open source ethos.
Exactly. Whereas CodeCanyon, part of Envato or JetBrains, they tend to have more premium, often commercially developed plugins and tools.
So it depends what you're looking for, free and community driven, or maybe a paid supported solution.
Pretty much. Yeah. And it also ties into who's behind them.
Yeah.
You've got Microsoft backing the Visual Studio Marketplace for
Sure.
big corporate support. Then you have others like OpenVSX or even how package control works for Sublime Text, which feel much more community-led.
That's interesting. So different engines driving the innovation, big companies sometimes, passionate communities other times.
Definitely. And looking at the specific examples the article lists really makes it clear. Like OpenVSX Registry.
Yeah.
It's designed to be vendor neutral, free.
Yeah.
Works with any editor that uses the VS Code extension format like VS Codium or Thea. Great for open source purists or, restricted environments.
Okay, so focused on freedom and compatibility. Then there's the GitHub marketplace.
Which is naturally deeply integrated with GitHub itself.
Makes sense.
Yeah, lots of DevOps tools, things for CI/CD pipelines. If you live on GitHub, it's designed to enhance that workflow.
And the JetBrains one we mentioned, plugins, themes, specifically for their IDEs like IntelliJ, PyCharm, etc., optimized for that ecosystem.
Exactly. Consistent experience for their users.
Then Eclipse marketplace.
Catering to that long-standing Eclipse community. Lots of Java, C++ developers use it. Again, tools tailored for that specific environment.
It's like the marketplaces reflect the tools themselves.
They really do. And compare that to CodeCanyon, part of Envato Market. That's very much about commercial scripts, plugins, mainly for web development. You need a ready-to-go solution you pay for. That's a common place to look.
Right, more about buying a finished component.
Yeah. And even Sublime text packages. It's not a website you browse in the same way, but package control acts as that marketplace, right? A community repository for extensions. Shows the concept isn't just about websites.
Good point. It's about the function.
Exactly. And the article even mentions the Atom package repository. Atom's not really developed anymore,
Right. But you could still look there for ideas.
yeah, for inspiration. Maybe you find some code you could adapt. Tech history can still be useful. And lastly, Coder, Code Marketplace, open source, focused on secure, offline environments for tools like Code Server. Super specific niche.
Wow, okay. That's just one category. And it's already pretty detailed. Really shows there's more than just like the Apple App Store out there.
Definitely.
But then the article broadens out, right, to general e-commerce marketplaces.
Yes, and this is where we get the household names. Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, Walmart Marketplace, Etsy for handmade stuff.
Right, the ones everyone knows.
And they're included, I think, just to set the baseline. The massive platforms selling everything. They contrast nicely with the more specialized ones.
Which leads us to the next category, niche and specialized marketplaces. This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Totally agree. The article lists things like StockX. That's for sneakers, collectibles, right?
Yeah, like a stock market for stuff. And Poshmark or Depop for secondhand fashion.
Uh-huh. Cherish for vintage furniture, Reverb for musical instruments, First Dibs for high-end antiques and art.
What's key about these? Is it just the product type?
It's partly the product, sure, but it's also about catering to specific passions. They build communities. And the platform features are often unique, like StockX's bidding system. It's tailored.
Right. It's more than just buying. It's participating in that specific scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you have digital goods and creative marketplaces.
Okay, like Creative Market, fonts, graphics.
Yeah, or Envato Market for themes, plugins, stock media, Shutterstock, Gumroad, where individual creators sell digital products directly, Udemy for courses.
There's all sorts of digital assets.
And these have just exploded. They make it easier for creators to sell globally and for users to find resources, often pretty affordably. Lowered the barrier to entry, you know.
Makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, next up, service-based marketplaces. Connecting people who need work done with people who do the work.
Right. Freelancers. Think Upwork, Fiverr, which is more gig-based, TaskRabbit for local errands and tasks, Thumbtack for home services pros, TopTal focusing on that high-end tech and finance freelance talent.
These have really changed how businesses find talent, haven't they?
Fundamentally.
Yeah.
Global talent pool, lots of flexibility. Again, different platforms for different needs. Quick gigs on Fiverr, big projects on Upwork, specialized skills on TopTal.
And the article shifts to B2B and wholesale. Less consumer-facing, maybe?
Generally, yeah, but crucial for business operations. Alibaba is the giant for global wholesale,
Right.
but there's also Fair, connecting independent brands with retail shops. Thomas Net for industrial parts and supplies. Tundra, which has a zero commission model.
So marketplaces are big in the supply chain, too.
Absolutely. Connecting businesses to suppliers, other businesses. Often about bulk orders, B2B relationships.
Okay. And peer-to-peer.
P2P, direct exchange between individuals. Airbnb is a classic example for lodging.
Sure.
Vinted for selling clothes, person to person, OfferUp for local stuff, Craigslist. The original, maybe?
Yeah, probably. It's still around.
These cut out the middleman, often. Great for unique finds or making money from your own stuff. Trust and safety are different dynamics there, though.
Good point. Okay, the article then revisits digital and software marketplaces briefly.
Yeah, mentioning the app stores again, Google Play, Apple App Store.
And Steam for games.
Right. And Code Canyon, again, for those software components, it just reinforces how broad digital is. Apps, games, code building blocks.
Got it. Then real estate and property. Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Most people have probably used these.
Yeah, they've brought a ton of transparency and access to real estate listings and data, made searching way easier.
And learning and education gets its own section too, even though Udemy was mentioned earlier.
Seems so. Here it lists Coursera with more university-style courses, Skillshare for creative stuff, and Kajabi, which is more a platform for creators to build their own course marketplaces.
Okay. So different angles on education shows the demand for lifelong learning, I guess.
Definitely. It's huge. Making education more accessible, more personalized.
Then another mention of freelance and gig economy platforms.
Yeah, adding freelancer.com, 99 Designs, which is specifically for graphic design contests and projects, and People Prayer.
It really is a major part of the economy now, isn't it? Worth highlighting the different players.
Seems like it. Different platforms cater to slightly different niches within the freelance world.
Okay, subscription-based marketplaces. That sounds different.
It is. Focuses on recurring deliveries or access, like Masterclass for ongoing access to courses.
Or BarkBox for pets, Patagonia provisions for food.
Exactly. Building that longer-term customer relationship through subscriptions. Different model than one-off purchases.
Interesting. Auction and collectibles also get another look.
Yeah, focusing specifically on the auction dynamic. Heritage auctions for really rare stuff. Katawiki for curated auctions. eBay Motors for vehicles.
Specialized features for bidding, authenticity, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Caters to collectors and those hunting unique items via auction.
Food and grocery Instacart, Grubhub, Farmbox Direct. That's become massive recently.
Huge growth, yeah. All about convenience, on-demand delivery for meals or groceries.
Travel and experiences. Get Your Guide, Viator, Peak. Booking tours, activities.
Essential for the travel industry. Streamlines finding and booking things to do when you travel.
Job and hiring marketplaces also get a separate section. LinkedIn Jobs, Indeed.
Glassdoor with the company reviews. We work remotely specifically for remote jobs. AngelList talent for startup jobs.
Crucial platforms for job hunting and recruiting, covering all sorts of industries.
Right. Essential tools for the modern job market.
Automotive marketplaces, Carvana,
Yeah.
AutoTrader, Bring a Trailer for Classics, Cars.com shows even big ticket items are fully online now.
For sure, huge listings, research tools, often more convenient than trekking to dealerships.
Health and wellness too, ZocDoc for appointments.
Yeah. Good RX for prescription discounts, ClassPass for fitness classes, iHerb for vitamins and supplements.
Managing health online seems to be a growing thing.
Definitely reflects that trend. Convenience and access through digital platforms.
And sustainable and eco-friendly marketplaces. ThreadUp for secondhand clothes.
Earth Hero, Grove Collaborative for household goods, Package Free Shop for zero-waste stuff.
So marketplaces built around specific values like sustainability.
Exactly, attracting consumers who prioritize that.
And finally, AI and data marketplaces. This feels very cutting edge.
It is. AWS Marketplace has AI models and data. Hugging Face Model Hub is huge for sharing AI models. Kaggle datasets, Google dataset search.
So places to get the building blocks for AI development?
Pretty much. Access to models, data, crucial resources for anyone working in AI and machine learning. It's a fast-moving space.
Man, when you list them all out like that, it's kind of staggering.
It really is.
The sheer number and how specific they get, it's way beyond just, ordering something on Amazon.
That's the main takeaway, I think. This incredible specialization is not just one kind of marketplace. It's this massive, diverse ecosystem.
Yeah, catering to really niche interests and needs.
Way beyond general e-commerce.
And understanding that, like the article helps us do, seems really valuable.
I think so. Whether you're just a consumer looking for something specific, or a professional needing tools or talent, or maybe even an entrepreneur.
Right, seeing where the gaps or opportunities might be.
Exactly. Knowing these platforms exist opens up possibilities you might not have even thought about.
So a good final thought then might be, for anyone listening.
Yeah.
Think about your own work, your hobbies, your interests. Are there specialized marketplaces out there, maybe ones we just mentioned or others, that could be useful?
That's a great way to put it. Which niche marketplace might hold some untapped potential for you? Because, as this deep dive shows, there really does seem to be a marketplace for almost everything these days.